guys, it's Elias. Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in today. We're going to be talking about the 335d and the 100,000 mile update. So what was done to it in terms of maintenance in order for it to reach the next 100,000 miles. So let's go over all the different parts that we changed, what we did, and why we did it. Let's go ahead and turn the beast on. Now, if this is your first time seeing my tuned 335d and you like what you see, be sure to hit that button below to subscribe. And there's a whole bunch of videos already on my channel talking about this very car. So as you heard there, this car is definitely tuned and I've been loving it ever since I tuned it a long time ago. So let's go ahead and get under the hood and explain to you guys exactly what happened. There she is. Now in the summer, real quick, I do want to mention, in the summer, I take this cover off just so I could breathe a little better. In the winter, I put it back on. Think of it as a blanket. Right under here is where the actual engine is. And as we can hear, it is sounding very nice. So let's start with the obvious. At about 100,000 miles, what you need to do obviously is to make sure you change your oil. Now, I do recommend you change the oil not at the 10,000 mile interval, as BMW says, but at around 7,000 or 8,000 miles. Go ahead and change that oil. Depends on how you drive, obviously, but the way I've been driving this thing, it gets quite a beating whenever I'm the driver. Now, it is Jane's car, but, you know, this is where you go ahead and see how much oil there is. I recommend you check that at least once every 2 weeks. Here's where the oil filter is. I've done a video on changing the oil on this car. I use Rotella because that's what I like. Now moving on to one of the main things that I changed. It's right in here. It's a bit difficult to see, but let me see if I can zoom in on this for you guys. So what you see spinning there is a brand new belt, a serpentine belt on a new Harmonic Balancer. At or before 100,000 miles on your 335d, 100% what you need to do is change the Harmonic Balancer on these things. They go bad, they're made out of rubber, and they're actually very poorly made in my opinion. Some people are going to disagree with me with that because the whole reason they make it out of rubber is to stop the vibration of the engine from getting to the cabin. I went ahead and replaced it with something called a fluid amper harmonic balancer, and that's just made out of steel and metal and is balanced. It is harmonically balanced. They do balance it out. However, it will allow a lot more vibration to get into the cabin than usual. So right now when you're in the vehicle and, you know, I have a cell phone mount there, it'll vibrate a lot more than it used to because I've changed from the original harmonic balancer to the fluid amper here. Now you do have to change it, whether or not you want to go to the fluid amper route or you want to do with an OEM harmonic balancer. You have to change it because about between 80 and 100,000 miles it will go bad, and the problem is once it goes bad it's gonna strand you. Your power steering is not gonna work, your alternator is not gonna work, so it's actually kind of dangerous. So make sure you go ahead and do that, and that's what I did. That's one of the main things you have to do. So after you make sure you change your harmonic balancer, like I said, I use the fluid amper and I also use the alternator pulley. So the fluid amper, harmonic balancer, and the alternator pulley will change at the same time. I changed a few other pulleys just to be sure we're good. And the next thing, and this is something I actually wasn't thinking about, but I made sure I bought anyway, was vacuum hoses. You see right here, there's vacuum hoses everywhere on this car, and I actually had a pretty bad leak on a vacuum hose down there. Luckily, Gio, my mechanic, you guys have met him before, he caught that. And since I gave him a whole bunch of extra vacuum hose lines, just in case he had to change any, he went ahead and changed them, and I no longer had a leak. But that's something you definitely have to take a look at. Now, I also changed the filter in the intake. because if you don't change that at 100,000 miles, well, I don't know what to tell you, it'll be nice and dirty for you. And there's also a charge pipe, a boost pipe that I thought had a leak. It's down there, but the boost pipe itself wasn't leaking. Now, it is a preventative maintenance. I went ahead and changed it anyway. Very recommended that you change your charge pipe that goes down there, even if you don't change the intercooler. Now, eventually I will be changing the intercooler, just not yet. When I do, I'll go ahead and check out how my new charge pipe is doing, but it is recommended you change the charge pipe anyway. It's really simple once you take all this tubing out, and once you change it, you don't have that issue anymore of the charge pipe possibly popping off the intercooler. These are known for doing that, especially when you tune your 335d like this is tuned. I've also taken the time to replace the cabin air filter. It's very easy to do. Take the leaves out of here too. So it's a little 8mm little bolts that go there, there, and there. This is the filter. I put a link down in the description below in case you want to buy it. This is the new filter, and this is the old filter. Just clips on to these little clips here, 1, 2, and 3, and then we'll bolt this back on. So what else happened to this car? Well, that was pretty much it. The oil change, we did the harmonic balancer, we did the alternator pulley, we changed the filter here, we changed a whole bunch of vacuum hoses, and then we changed the filter here and the charge pipe down there to a brand new charge pipe. I'll put all the links in the description below in case you guys want to check out what I bought. I also went ahead and did the swirl flap delete. Now, I did film the video, I did it myself. I will be uploading that whenever I get the chance. There's a lot of editing involved with that video. We'll get to it at some point though. I also went ahead and changed the radiator fluid. We drained the radiator, put new radiator fluid in there. We're good to go on that. Obviously topped off the windshield washer fluid. And that's pretty much it for the 100,000 mile update on this car. Now, if you don't do this regularly like I do, I would also recommend you take care of the brake fluid flush. It's something that you definitely have to do. I definitely recommend it. Other than that, this car has been extremely reliable. I can't believe how good it's been. You know, if you take care of the car, it'll take care of you. There is a couple of things that I'm looking forward to possibly changing in the future. I think the small turbo on this, which they live around here, it is going bad. When Gio took off and he showed me the little wiggle in it, you don't want any play in it. So it's starting to go bad. I think it'll give me another 50,000 miles of life to it before it completely goes bad. And when it does, I'll go ahead and change it to a new hybrid turbo setup with a whole new tune, stage 4 and meth injection, new intercooler, new front bumpers, all that good stuff. I'll cover all that in a different video. Alright guys, that pretty much wraps it up here for the 335d update. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments. If you have one of these, let me know what else you've done that I should be taking a look at, because I don't know everything. And that's it. Thanks guys for watching. I'll catch you next time. Peace out.